Hi everyone, this is Teacher Christine, and welcome back to our sessions for English Interview for Stewardesses. For today, we will be going through some scenarios regarding passenger interaction. For our first scenario, the question is, what would you do for a passenger who is bored? So, one possible answer is I would first talk to the passenger and see if there is anything that they would like me to do for them. I would then offer to get them a magazine or a newspaper to read. They may even just want a pillow or blanket so that they can take a nap. Sometimes, especially for long flights, the passenger can get restless. It would then be the flight stewardess's job to see how they can make the passenger to be as comfortable as possible. Another answer that I've written down is similar to the first one. I would talk to the passenger and just try to find out if there is anything I can provide that would catch their interest. They may want something to read, or they may want something to watch, though sometimes just talking to them would ease their boredom. For you, what would you do if you see someone, a passenger, who is bored? Okay, very good. Now, what about a scenario wherein you don't feel like smiling? So, usually for stewardesses, we have to show that we are always cheerful and smiling. So, what would you do then? One answer is, when I don't feel like smiling and I am at work, I just try to keep in mind that I have worked very hard to get this position as a flight attendant, and it makes me happy because I know that I have succeeded. Thinking of this always brings a smile to my face. Though, if that doesn't work, you can try alternate solutions. Like, when I don't feel like smiling, I try to remember things that I like. I also try to remember funny moments, and it always helps to cheer me up. How about you? If you don't feel like smiling, what would you do? Alright, very good. Now, on to our next question. A passenger wants to take a service item with them as a souvenir. How would you respond? So sometimes a passenger would like to take a blanket or the pillow to take home with them as a souvenir that they've actually ridden on this airplane. But that's not usually permitted. So one possible answer is that I would explain to the passenger that our service items are for our flights only, and I would offer a suggestion of buying a souvenir from our onboard duty-free magazine, which offers some service items. Also, usually, these type of items are available at the airport souvenir shops. So, I would also politely inform them that, although the service items on board are not for sale, they can buy the same or similar items at the airport souvenir shop. They might actually want to go there because sometimes they are of better or good quality. And now, take the time to tell me how would you respond to a similar situation as this one. Alright, now that you've thought about it, let's go and see that if a passenger takes a blanket, let's see what you would do. Okay, one sample answer is that I would stop the passenger apologize, and explain to them that they are not allowed to take blankets from the plane because they are again for service use only. I would then suggest that if they would like a souvenir, they could buy one from our duty-free shops. Another way of rephrasing it is that I would inform the passenger that the blankets are for service use only and cannot be taken off the plane. But of course, I would thank them for their interest and tell them that the same item or a similar item can be bought at the souvenir shop. Okay. How about you? When you see a customer or a passenger take a blanket and try to take them with them off the plane, what would you do? Okay, good. Now, how about a passenger who insists on taking a look at the cockpit? So what would you tell them? So, for security purposes, this isn't usually allowed. So, one answer is I would apologize, then explain to the passenger that due to safety reasons on flights these days, it is against our policy to let anyone except authorized personnel within the cockpit. Another way of rephrasing that is I would apologize to the passenger for not being able to fulfill their requests and just politely explain to them that passengers are not allowed within the cockpit for security reasons. Now, take your time to tell me and think about how you would handle a situation such as this. Okay, good. Now, for our last question for today is that if there's a problem or if you got asked about a problem from a passenger that you knew you couldn't resolve, what would you do? Of course, we don't have all the answers to all of their questions. But one thing that you can do is that the first thing I would do is to apologize for not being able to help them right away, but then ask them to wait a moment. I would then go to my senior and explain the problem, as she may have a solution to his or her problem. Another way of rephrasing that is I would apologize for not being able to help, but assure the customer that everything is being done to satisfy their concerns. After which I will then approach my senior for assistance during these moments. Now, given these situations, I'm sure that you have a pretty good idea what you would be able to do when times like this occur. So, until next time, I'll go ahead and see you then, and pretty soon I'll know that you'll do good on your interview. So again, good luck and see you on our next session. Goodbye.